the trees.
There's the 420s.
Your answers belong to me.
Wait for Simpson.
A new one every week. Beautiful Huracan Rana of Gabriel.
And there's the unholy roller. You're gonna die, AJ Styles, and a back heel. Oh, yeah.
If this house is a rockin', we're glad you came and knockin' to the nation's #1 pro wrestling alternative, NWA Wildside. Thanks for joining us. Stephen Prazak along with Dan, the Dragon Willson last week, a landmark edition, we've had quite a few of those, of NWA Wildside. We saw new Wildside tag team champions in the form of TNT, beating the Briscoe brothers in a match. It was a stellar match, but we saw the return of nothing less than Big Business Brown and his briefcase full of those Twinkies of death, apparently, getting involved in that match, ending up with TNT, Tony Stradlin, and Todd Sexton becoming the new Wildside Tag Team Champions. I believe the second time they've been Tag Team Champions. The main event, though, last week was 6-man tag action. We saw Rain Man, we saw John Phoenix, and 600 pounds of Iceberg take on Rick Michaels, David Young, and all that Adam Jacobs. Suffice to say, that match broke down in a hurry. But at the very end, we saw the phenomenal AJ Styles make his return here to the NWA Arena here in Cornelia, Georgia, and he jumped David Young. What's going on there? Is there an alignment between AJ Styles and Jeff Bailey? Styles says no. But what is his game plan? What is his MO? That was last week. This week is a whole another story.
Tremendous championship action, three-way dance for the Wildside Tag Team titles, the new champions, TNT, against the former champions, the Lost Boys, and the former champions, the Briscoes, the team that takes the pinfall in that matchup. They're eliminated from the Wildside 3-year anniversary show coming up in 2 weeks. Fans also on the card, the phenomenal AJ Styles is gonna be in action. Will he answer some of those questions? He's gonna be taking on his buddy, all that Adam Jacobs. And in your main event tonight, fans, the 600-pound beast Iceberg steps in the ring with an 11-year veteran that has seen virtually everything the pro wrestling industry can throw at him, the original chosen one, Rick Michaels. Michaels has been able to survive years in the industry, but can he survive the Iceberg tonight?
NWA presents TNA, total non-stop action, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on pay-per-view.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Great action.
I'm Joey Styles. Vince McMahon and the WWF don't want you to know what I know. I have secret sources inside the WWF locker room and inside the WWF offices. I have all the news that you're not supposed to know. Plus, all the news on your favorite local wrestling promotions. Call the number on your screen now.
Welcome to this week's edition of NWA Wildside. The following contest is set for one fall with a...
Oh, check that! It's Murder One! The artist formerly known as Homicide and an artist of a very violent nature.
You shut your damn mouth! You want to know something? Today ends the suspension! So guess who's back in town to kick some ass? But I got a little problem. I don't have nobody to fight tonight. And by the way, you suck, you fat bitch. I don't have nobody to fight tonight. And it seems like every time I try to beat up Bill Behrens, I get suspended or fined.
Maybe you
and
shouldn't.
If I beat up anybody in the back, I might get fired.
The price you pay, boy.
So Dan the Dragon, I have been left with one choice, and that's to beat your ass.
Oh my God! Dan Willson in the clutches of Murder One. Here comes Bill Behrens. Good heavens. Bill, I don't believe should be the saving grace of the situation here. He's the guy who's ultimately his suspended homicide and formerly now known as Murder One. Behind Murder One is Onyx. Oh my goodness, Onyx opening up on Murder One. Goes to show you don't monkey around with the brass here in Wildside.
Hey, Murder One, welcome back to the NWA Arena. You wanted a match at the anniversary show on the 21st, 2 weeks from today. You've got a match. It's against Onyx.
Murder One and Onyx at Wildside version 4.0, the 3rd anniversary show. If that's the match that Murder One wanted, he certainly has it. Yeah, looks like we're getting it here tonight. No, I guess Murder One would rather gather his wits so that they are. Murder One, a very, very dangerous man, but Onyx, a man of some incredible and very impressive power. Murder One second guesses Onyx. He's in for a rude, rude shock. But Onyx, I'm sure, knows what exactly the diabolical nature of Murder One. One match set in stone already for Wildside version 4.0. More Wildside coming up right after this. And Tony Stradlin and Todd Sexton won those titles with the addition, with some considerable assistance of the returning Big Business Brown, who is not here this week. Thank all that is holy for that. Turn around, guys. The Briscoes and TNT mixing it up. And the Lost Boys are biding their time and tripping TNT in the process. It's getting wild and woolly straight from the get-go, just as we anticipated, Dan.
And what action to kick off this week's edition of Wildside. Senton to the outside off the top rope by Mark Briscoe. All three of these teams have held the Wildside Tag Team titles, TNT in their second reign. The Briscoes, the Lost Boys, TNT locking horns. Tony Stradlin into the far corner. Jay Briscoe charges elbow. Stradlin is posted on the top rope. Look at this, go for a 450 splash. Briscoe moved out of the way. Gabriel clutches Tony Stradlin on the top rope. And Jay Briscoe comes back, baseball slide to the face.
And outside the ring, Azrael's having some serious GBH being handed to him, courtesy of Todd Sexton, and now it's both members of TNT and Jay Briscoe in the ring. Oh, this is not promising.
Oh, Tony Stradlin gets sent to the outside. Before that, you saw a beautiful counter of an ace crusher there by Tony Stradlin. High cross body by Mark Briscoe off the top. Double chop by the brothers Briscoe on the Todd Sexton, making that lily white chest of his just a tad bit red. Briscoe brothers, there's a double sit-out choke slam.
And it's the Briscoes and the Lost Boys now.
Lost Boys and the Briscoes squaring off here. Time warp onto Tony Stradlin by the Lost Boys.
Interesting, there seems to be bits of elements of cooperation here and there, but they're all very fleeting.
Well, the Briscoes and the Lost Boys have a common enemy outside the ring. They both have a deep personal hatred for TNT because of acts that TNT perpetrated against them. The Lost Boys and TNT have been arch rivals for over a year now. Clothesline. Trying to get Jay Briscoe over was Gabriel, but ended up sitting himself over in the process. Mark Briscoe and Azrael trading blows here in the ring. Irish whip by Mark Briscoe. Azrael comes off the ropes, ducks an elbow. Irish whip there. Hip toss. No, Mark Briscoe lands on his feet. Todd Sexton, big dive to the outside. Underneath the legs. Oh, and a pair of boots to the face by Azrael and Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe and Azrael seeing the bottoms of each other's soles. We're talking about the ones in the bottom of the feet because I don't think Azrael has the other kind.
Nor Gabriel. We know a lot about the Lost Boys there in that department of spirituality. Look at Tony Stradlin. Tornado spin kick to the head.
Azrael and Tony Stradlin mixing up in the ring. And that's not where all the action is going. It's Todd Sexton and Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe meets that security railing in not very flattering terms. Ouch.
Azrael and Tony Stradlin both have an impressive arsenal of kicks. Big power slam there by Todd Sexton.
Of the snap variety. And the Briscoes in TNT. Hatred is really spilling out into the NWA arena.
Double Irish whip, double reversal, double sunset flip by the Briscoe, double reversal by TNT, double reversal again in the pinning combination, double reversal again. These guys moving lightning quick here. Counter there. Oh no! Double. There's a J Thriller going. And a cutthroat suplex, but the Lost Boys stopped that. One pinfall ends this matchup. More at stake than the Wildside Tag Team titles as the Lost Boys go for the excommunicator, but Tony Stradlin thwarts that effort. And a double baseball slide to the face by the Briscoes.
I swear, all 6 guys have eyes in the back of their head to be able to pull this off.
Super kick by Todd Sexton. He saw Stradlin was in the way and tried to pull it at the last second, but Stradlin still caught the brunt of the maneuver. Powerbomb neckbreaker combo by the Briscoes, and of course the team that gets pinned in this matchup not only does not win the Wildside Tag Team Championships, but they don't get another shot because they're eliminated from the matchup at the 3-year anniversary show coming up in 2 weeks. 5-star moonsault. Oh, good grief. Azrael went for the unholy roller, and he ended up kicking Mark Briscoe in the process, but I think he connected just a bit on Tony Stradlin, and Mark Briscoe is not happy in the least with Azrael.
No kidding. There's a reason they call him high-risk maneuvers. Good night, nurse.
Fisherman's Buster, and Azrael gets dropped on his head.
Mark and Jay Briscoe, former Wildside Tag Team Champions, would like to get an opportunity to get those belts again. Good heavens! And down goes senior official Andrew Thomas.
And going for a variation of a doomsday device there. Gabriel countered with a victory roll, and Mark Briscoe ended up clotheslining senior official Andrew Thomas in a process, falling reverse DDT by the Archangel.
Normally I wouldn't mind that happening a bit more often, but in a match with so much at stake, we need a very conscious referee.
Azrael with a pair of kicks, and then a springboard kick to the back of the head.
Tony Stradlin pulling out Azrael with that title belt, and Azrael goes down in a heap, oh God. And here comes Todd Sexton with his belt. Not pretty at all.
Andrew Thomas still in trouble. The Briscoes duck the belt shots.
Oh dear.
Jay Thriller and a cutthroat suplex. And it's Speedy Nelson.
Yes!
We got new tag team champions. TNT have been eliminated from the anniversary show. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and new Wildside Tag Team champions, the Briscoes. This means the Briscoes will face the Lost Boys at the 3-year anniversary show for the Wildside Tag Team titles.
And it also means that TNT cannot participate in the 3rd-year anniversary. Wait a second. The plot thickens. Andrew Thomas has taken away the belts from the Briscoe brothers. Andrew Thomas is disqualifying the Briscoe brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the assigned official to this matchup, Wildside Senior Referee Andrew Thomas, has disqualified the Briscoes. TNT retain the Wildside Tag Team titles. The Briscoes are eliminated from the anniversary show.
Man, that's a rip-off of major proportions, particularly if you're Jay and Mark Briscoe traveling all this way.
Cutthroat pile driver by Azrael. Unbelievable.
But TNT managed to retain the titles via disqualification, and the belts are being draped.
And ladies and gentlemen, now signed officially for the Wildside 3-year anniversary show on September the 21st. TNT will meet the Lost Boys 2 out of 3 falls for the Wildside Tag Team Championship.
What a turn of events. Hey, if you blink, you miss it. But Andrew Thomas got KO'd, and ultimately it was his decision to disqualify the Briscoe brothers. Briscoe brothers out of tag title contention, and they're also out of the anniversary show. But more importantly, TNT retains the titles, and they'll be facing the Lost Boys at Wildside version 4.0, 2 out of 3 falls.
And as much as we hate him, and as disgusting as it is, Thomas was the assigned official for the matchup, and that is the official decision.
More Wildside right after this. And Rusty Riddle's heading up to that top turnbuckle. Outlaw John Dalton in, quite frankly, the wrong place, the wrong time. Sean Royal, great fighting that left leg. Oh, leg drop across the chest of John Dalton. I think Dalton may be toast. Sean Royal's got other plans, apparently.
Sean Royal calling for the Easy Rider, the finishing maneuver of Total Destruction. They take Dalton down hard, and the threat of the Outlaws is no more.
Yeah, I get that impression.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners, Total Destruction.
Well, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but sneaking in under the bottom rope.
Who the hell are these guys?
These two monsters, and they've got pipes.
Who the hell are these guys?
My God, they've got iron pipes and wooden poles. They're just beating the holy crap out of Total Destruction.
Who in the hell are these two big sons of bitches?
I've seen these two guys before, but damn it, I can't place them. But regardless, I don't know if they're two guys from Total Destruction's past or whatnot, but this...
Are they from the past of Total Destruction? Hell, as I was mentioning earlier, would they have something to do with Chris Champion maybe? What is this?
Well, the point is they're not employed by Wildside. They're not supposed to be here. Who are these guys? Why are they going to town hall destruction?
Officials, can we get security out here? Anytime a fan jumps the guardrail, these guys bought tickets.
Oh my God, Sean Rawls is bleeding a gusher.
Rusty Riddle doing the same.
Oh, man.
Bill Behrens better get out of the way. I know he's got to protect the interest of his company, but who are these guys?
I mean, these two guys could be twins. And Bill Behrens, as NWA Vice President, is trying to figure out who the hell these guys are. Hell, so are we.
Who are these guys? What is the deal here? They took out security. They bought a ticket, came over the rail, took out Total Destruction, a referee, security, and they just left. Unbelievable.
But more importantly, they took out Total Destruction. You know anyone else who can make that claim?
No one has ever taken out Total Destruction. I've never seen Total Destruction left laying for any period of time.
But we're certainly seeing it here. Sean Royal is the faces that proverbial crimson mask.
In Wildside history, I can say this is the first time I have ever seen Sean Royal carried out by security guards. This is not only one of the biggest slaps in the face to Total Destruction, to Rusty Riddle and Sean Royal, but to allow these guys that don't even work here to jump the guardrail and beat up on two of the toughest guys Wildside's ever seen is a slap in the face to this company.
It certainly is. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe they're sent by some other, I can't imagine Bill Behrens having any enemies. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But the point is here, Rusty Riddle and Sean Royal, how now emerging from the pools of their own blood across here the NWA arena and being held up by security.
Amazing. Well, whoever those two guys were, they are very, very dangerous men.
Yeah, and perhaps the Bill Behrens or the Wildside Matchmaking Committee is going to put together something or other involving those, perhaps for our 3rd anniversary show, scheduled for September the 21st here.
How can you put together a match if they don't work for the damn company, Steven?
Well, Behrens is running out and trying to see who these guys are.
Well, yeah, and he might be getting his ass kicked in a parking lot in the process.
That very well may be, but the fact is, you know Total Destruction, you know the way they are. They're going to insist upon seeing these guys again, whoever they are, and whatever Total Destruction wants, typically they get.
Sean Royal is ornery, and you definitely don't want that. More Wildside coming up. AJ Styles in action against all that Adam Jacobs. What a match.
In case you didn't know it, why don't you shut his mouth? In case you didn't know it, he's Dave, and I'm Brandon. And why wouldn't you know it? Because the powers that be, Mr. Bill Behrens, has consistently
held us back ever since we got here.
That's not true.
And unless you've been living under a rock, you know about the message on our website. All you internet junkies need to get your fingers ready, because we got something to say. A little over a year ago, we stepped foot in Wildside, and we set the tag team world on fire. And what do we have to show for it? Meaningless matches against meaningless tag teams. I mean, this is the God's honest truth. G-rated, we're better than them. They're nothing more than a bunch of kids. Jeremy V and Derek Driver, they're not even a tag team. And the Rage, they're nothing more than a watered-down Future Shock. At least they got smart. They left town. And when we got here tonight, Mr. Behrens didn't even have a match for us. They said, go out there and do your thing, do an interview, something like that. Well, we're going to do it the way we want to do it, not the way he wants us to do it.
You see, it is no surprise. It is no surprise that the boys in the back, they don't respect us.
You have to earn it.
It is no surprise that the offense does not care about us. They don't care about Brandon, and they don't care about Jay. Week after week after stinking week, we had the best matches on the card. We steal the show. 2 weeks ago,
Crowd getting on Future Shock's case.
2 weeks ago, we had a match with the Briscoes. Oh, the great Briscoes. Get on your knees and bow down to the Briscoes. We took them to the limit.
It was a good match, true.
And how do we get repaid? By coming here tonight, finding out that there's a three-way match for the tag team title. Future Shock's name is nowhere on the slate.
It's a big, big tag team scene here, guys.
NWA Wildside, Mr. Bill Behrens, we are tired of being overlooked, and we are damn tired of being underappreciated.
Well, maybe Future Shock can appreciate Scottie Wrenn and Tank. The ticking time bomb and the sickle-wielding maniac. Future Shock surprisingly are standing their ground. Wonder how much longer this is going to take place. Scottie and Tank,
Let
no
me get
good.
one thing straight. You two little girls are out here hollering about respect. You two little girls are out here crying because we don't get looked at. Nobody likes us. You know why? Because you suck.
Subtle.
You're two little greenhorn boys who come out here and want everything given to them on a silver platter. Let me explain to you about the history of Wildside. November 7, 1998 was the very first show in this building. Who was the very first person to walk through the curtain? Me! In case you don't know, Scottie Wrenn is one of the cornerstones of this company.
And he's earned his shot here.
And you want to talk about you guys being overlooked? My God, I took a little time off and come back, and they put me in a spot with some drunk. I'm referring to drunk Bart Sawyer. Let me refresh your memory just a little bit. It was a little over a year ago, I was the Wildside heavyweight champion. When I come back, do I get a rematch? No. Why? Because they can't handle me. They can't handle the time bomb. But let me tell you something. You want respect? What have you done to deserve it? Nothing. Have you went in a steel cage and bled and sweat like this man has? No, he's overlooked. This man possesses so much talent, it's scary. But what does he do? The only little push he gets is they tag him with some stinking troll named White Trash. And in case you don't know, he's no longer with the company either. Now let me tell you something about respect. When have you guys been in a steel cage match and took the front flip over through tables and busted your back? Never. You've not done nothing. You're not getting respect. Respect is not given. It's earned. And if respect is what you want, then fellas, respect is what you're going to get. But you must earn it. So I'm saying this. You guys don't have a match. Well, we don't either. And how about this time next week? You earn your respect. And it's not gonna be pretty because Tank, Wrenn are gonna beat the living piss out of you.
Next week here in Wildside, the ticking time bomb Scottie Wrenn and Tank face up with Future Shock. And Future Shock will get the opportunity to get some respect earned. And against the ticking time bomb, the sickle-wielding maniac, that is one of the tallest orders you're going to find in any professional wrestling organization. And we got him here at Wildside. Coming up next, all that Adam Jacobs meets up with the phenomenal AJ Styles. It's next. The fans are obviously split between cheering on these two competitors, two of their all-time favorites, to ever walk down the aisle here at the Wildside Arena. All that Adam Jacobs, the phenomenal AJ Styles. A wrestling clinic, my friends, you are about to witness.
These two have been tag team partners in recent weeks, are great friends. They were the final two men the last time they met one-on-one. Freedom Fight 2002 in the Holy War Steel Cage matchup, Jacobs defeated Styles to become the Wildside Heavyweight Champion. Jacobs lost the title due to a forfeit. He had a family emergency and couldn't make the defense, and it was right at his 30-day defense limit. Phoenix won the title via forfeit. Jacobs was counted out. David Young then wrestled Phoenix and defeated him. John Phoenix and Adam Jacobs still a lot of bitter blood. AJ Styles, confusing actions as of late. He attacked David Young for no apparent reason. And Jeff G. Bailey seemed to be enthralled that he was a new member of the NWA Elite, but Styles said, I didn't do it for you, Jeff. I did it for me. And one can only wonder what that means. Styles has not given a whole lot of comment on the issue. He refuses to talk about it. Why did AJ Styles attack David Young? Wrist lock by Adam Jacobs.
I would say that AJ Styles is definitely his own man right now. I think locking horns in the X division at NWA TNA has made AJ Styles pretty much a lone wolf in many respects. And in the process, you're not going to make many friends. That's just the way it is.
AJ Styles cinching in a side headlock. Jacobs trying with all of his might to break that maneuver, and he does so. Irish whip. Styles comes back. Jacobs was going for a leapfrog, but Styles nailed him right in the midsection with a drop kick. Jacobs is not feeling great right now.
No, sir. You have to bring your A game whenever you're meeting up with phenomenal AJ Styles. There's just no two ways about it. You're not totally focused on your craft. You'll pay the price. And that price often involves the most lethal Styles clash.
AJ Styles with a couple of chops on all that. Adam Jacobs, a forearm in the corner, smashes his head into the top turnbuckle. Neither of these men are afraid to get physical, that's for sure. Reversal by Jacobs. Styles goes into the far corner. Was going for a springboard off the top rope, but Jacobs countered it. All that Adam Jacobs, big baseball slide to the midsection on AJ Styles.
AJ Styles inadvertently got himself in a tree of woe. An opportunity that Adam Jacobs capitalized in a major way. Thunderous chops from the phenomenal AJ.
Midsection by Styles. Off the ropes it comes. Goes for a swinging neck breaker. Jacobs tried to counter, but he still felt a little bit of the maneuver. Valiant effort by Jacobs nonetheless. Styles, call that a bitch slap for the lack of a better word.
I don't think AJ would call it that, but that's what it turned out to be.
And AJ would call that a boo-boo slap. I'm kidding. You know, AJ Styles very devout in his beliefs. Very well documented, but that's not the issue here. The issue is this athletic competition. AJ Styles and all that Adam Jacobs. Contendership at stake in this matchup. Both men ranked very highly in the Wildside Championship contender bracket. Sit out, Uranagi. The Metroplex by all that Adam Jacobs, and Styles kicks out at 2.
Styles is a man who is much in demand throughout the world of pro wrestling. He calls NWA Wildside his home, and we're real lucky to have him here. Although David Young, I'm sure, would love to be having some questions asked to the phenomenal AJ Styles about Styles' recent actions.
With Styles and Jacobs ripping it up here in the corner. Speedy Nelson trying to make him abide by the 5 count, but it's getting ugly. It is getting ugly. Styles muscles up Jacobs and power slams him down to the mat. What a hot exchange that was. Very brutal.
Tempers are flaring in this matchup between two of Wildside's very best, Adam Jacobs and AJ Styles. And my friends, is none of your main event scheduled this week. Rick Michaels taking on the being of inconceivable horror, Iceberg. It's coming up next.
Jacobs lands on his feet, elbow to the face by all that Adam Jacobs. He comes back, AJ Styles catches him in a fireman's carry. Spinning fireman's carry, hot shot, neck right onto the top rope. Goes all that Adam Jacobs. He could be down for the count.
Yeah, I imagine he would be.
Styles going to the floor here, going to tend to Jacobs. He's going right back on the attack. Even though Jacobs is his friend, within the context of the bell here, he's doing what he's got to do. And could that be part of this new attitude that Styles has exhibited when he attacked David Young?
Thunderous chops from all that Adam Jacobs.
Jacobs firing back. Jacobs happy for David Young, his friend, that he won the Wildside Heavyweight Championship. But Jacobs certainly wants another opportunity at that belt. Jacobs, look, he's going for a pile driver on the outside. Jacobs gets backdropped onto the ramp, ass first.
Boy, both these guys are just begging for a double countout. Speedy Nelson showing an awful lot of leniency here. That's what all the referees do. AJ Styles on top of Jacobs for the pin. Jacobs gets a shoulder up in the nick of time. One could only imagine the damage done to both these competitors out here on the floor. But the resiliency in both Jacobs and Styles is pretty impressive, you got to admit.
First one by Styles, goes for a spin kick. Jacobs ducks it and planks him with a super kick. One of the signature maneuvers of all that Adam Jacobs.
And remember the last time these two competitors met, pin attempt from Jacobs. The last time these two competitors met, Adam Jacobs pinned AJ Styles.
Well, Styles was going for the Styles Clash off the top rope in that steel cage. Jacobs countered it with an amazing Hurricane Rana in midair and pinned Styles. I don't think he's going to do that this time, but wait a minute. Jacobs going for a Hurricane Rana, reversing the page. Styles goes for a Styles Clash. No, he does. Once again, reversing the Styles Clash with a Hurricane Rana. Jacobs has definitely done his homework on Styles again for the second time.
Jacobs knows AJ Styles very well.
Jacobs charges into the far corner, going for a monkey flip. Styles counters, posts him with a chop. Styles going to the top rope. Jacobs trying to fight him off to the best of his ability. Goes for a tornado DDT. Now Styles plants him back, counters that. Through to the midsection. Speedy Nelson goes down, a grazing blow. Wait a minute! John Phoenix! John Phoenix, what the hell is John Phoenix doing? Did he assist Styles? Styles clash on to Jacobs.
And AJ Styles using John Phoenix.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, AJ Styles.
And AJ Styles will take the victory as he can get it. Taking a look at Styles' face, I don't think he really wanted John Phoenix's input here. But Phoenix and his former friend Adam Jacobs are not exactly on a speaking terms, shall we say, and had spilled out into this match here this evening.
After Styles attacked David Young, he swore up and down, he claimed that he did not have any alliance with Jeff G. Bailey, then why is John Phoenix coming to his aid? Is it purely for his hatred for Adam Jacobs, or was he coming to assist Styles? I hate to point the finger because I love AJ Styles to death and would hate the fact of him joining the NWA Elite, but you gotta raise the question, fans.
And there are a lot of questions going on here. Coming up next, the original Chosen One, Rick Micxhaels, meets up with quarter-ton plus of Iceberg. It's next.
He is the original Chosen One, Rick Micxhaels.
Rick Micxhaels is wearing a new set of tights here this week. Iceberg doesn't seem to be impressed by either the tights nor the original Chosen One, Rick Micxhaels. This is not going to be a highly technical Greco-Roman affair, methinks.
Well, the Iceberg dismantling the original Chosen One. And Rick Micxhaels, a man that 10 years in this sport, wrestling has thrown everything it's had at Rick Micxhaels, and he's been able to withstand for 10 years, now going on 11. And in his 11th year in the wrestling industry, Rick Micxhaels has overcome just about everything. But can he overcome a 600-pound beast that gave Abdullah the Butcher one of his first pinfall losses, that gave Mr. Pogo a pinfall loss? Can he endure the Iceberg?
I know he just racked Iceberg's billiards with that second rope.
Rick Micxhaels, the southpaw, opening up on Iceberg. Iceberg catches him, squishing Rick Micxhaels into the corner.
That move could very easily break the back of a normal man, but ain't nothing normal about Rick Micxhaels.
Of course, the Iceberg, in his last appearance in Wildside, left Wildside heavyweight champion David Young a bloody mess. And this is retribution on behalf of Rick Micxhaels for his buddy David Young, still recuperating this week from the beating he sustained. The Wildside heavyweight champion not going to be in action this week. He's going to be here next week defending the title against Rain Man, the man that Rick Micxhaels has had it out for a long time. Rain Man busted Rick Micxhaels open in the Freedom Fight cage match, the most disgusting, gruesome bloodletting I've ever seen as a 21-year fan of wrestling.
It was gruesome indeed. And that's precisely the way that Jeff G. Bailey works.
And that, my friends, is how you throw a punch. Hands like cinder blocks is the Iceberg.
And the original Chosen One is draped across that second rope. Oh, dear.
Dear God!
Oh, dear. Shades of the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff, although I think Ivan brought that much weight along with him. Hell, I don't think the whole Koloff family could have done as much damage as Iceberg did with that. But Rick Micxhaels gets a leg on that bottom rope. God bless you, Rick. Where you get it from, I have no idea.
Just the sight of Iceberg has ended many professional wrestling careers before they even started. Snap suplex by this beast who possesses an amazing amount of wrestling ability to be such a killer, which shows me that there's just a bit of human being left inside that man. And he was a human being to many at one point, known as Iceberg Slim. That's when he debuted in Wildside. Jeff G. Bailey brought him in, Iceberg Slim, his newest find, a protege of Abdullah the Butcher. Well, Jeff G. Bailey convinced Iceberg Slim to turn on Abdullah the Butcher and destroy him. Drop the name Slim, go to Japan, he killed Mr. Pogo, and as a tool of Jeff G. Bailey's destruction, he's been unstoppable. In a year's time, only one pinfall loss to David Young, a Superman of our Wildside heavyweight champion. From a spinebuster off the top of the cage, Rick Micxhaels gets baseball slid into the front row. Micxhaels is at odds here, and he is at odds bad.
I don't think Micxhaels has gotten more than about 10 or 12 seconds of offense on Iceberg since the bell rung. Iceberg is truly an insurmountable force in so many ways. We know Rick Micxhaels is a man of many gifts, but how exactly do you take this guy down? What's like Iceberg trying to count Rick Micxhaels out, but Iceberg is out there as well. It's a good thing Iceberg's not a referee.
Be a damn big referee, sure.
That's an awful lot of stripes. Got a vertigo looking at all those stripes.
The Iceberg methodically approaching Rick Micxhaels. Shoots him into the far turnbuckle. Rick Micxhaels is really getting his ass handed to him here by the Iceberg, as much as I hate to say it, but Micxhaels is a crafty veteran. He moves out of the way because Micxhaels knows every single trick in the book. Hell, he invented half of them. Drop kick by Rick Micxhaels, staggers the beast, but does not knock him down. Another, staggers him even further. Rick Micxhaels off the ropes, hush, buddy, no, a forearm shot, excuse me, sending him down.
Covering the body of Iceberg, it's got to be tough. You can actually cover the body of Iceberg and still not have your arms and legs touch the ground. What a mass of humanity this Iceberg is. Not to ever accuse Iceberg of being human. Rick Micxhaels showing some uncharacteristic firepower here with this behemoth.
Well, when you're in the ring with the Iceberg, you got to dig deep down. Rick Micxhaels going for the double shot here. He can hit the double shot on the beast, and maybe he can just pin him. Maybe he can. No way. He doesn't budge. Elbow drop by the Iceberg. Shades of his mentor that he slaughtered. Ground zero splash. Rick Micxhaels is defeated. I don't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the big of inconceivable horror, the Iceberg.
And knowing Jeff Bailey, the punishment does not end here. Bailey wants more, and Iceberg is happy to comply. Another Abdullah-like elbow. Oh my God!
Come on! This is enough. The anniversary show coming up in just 2 weeks' time. Rick Micxhaels is scheduled to take on Rain Man in a one-on-one encounter. We don't know the stipulation of that matchup yet. I'm told it's going to be announced at a later date, but can Rick Micxhaels even make it after being destroyed by this behemoth? Iceberg is on a mission. He wants David Young in the worst kind of way. He wants the heavyweight title, and he wants David Young's life.
We'll do it again next week, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Dan the Dragon Wilson, I'm Stephen Prazak. We'll see you next week here at NWA Wildside.